common threats abusive partners make is, "If you leave me, I'll kill myself." For many women, those words create fear, guilt, and confusion. You may wonder, does he really mean it? Am I responsible if something happens? And is he trying to manipulate me? Should I be afraid? Today we're talking about how to tell the difference between emotional blackmail and a legitimate lethality warning sign. I'm Tiffany Lesnik, a North Carolina family law attorney, domestic violence attorney, and survivor. Through Live Free Legal, I help women gain the legal education, faith-based encouragement, and strategic tools they need to navigate high-conflict divorce and custody cases. Threatening suicide is one of the most common tactics abusers use to keep victims trapped. The message is simple: you cannot leave because I will die, and it will be your fault. This tactic shifts the focus away from his abuse and places the burden of his mental health squarely on your shoulders. While many of these threats are manipulative and designed to control you, some do indicate a genuine and serious risk. Today, we are going to talk about how to tell the difference. Why do abusers use suicide threats? Suicide threats can serve several purposes. 1, to make you feel guilty. 2, to prevent you from leaving. That's probably the biggest reason they use it. 3, to stop you from calling the police. 4, to punish you from setting boundaries. And then 5, again, one of the biggest ways, to regain control after losing power. Examples may include statements like, "If you leave me, I'll kill myself. The kids will grow up without a father. You'll regret this. I can't live without you." Whether he means it or not, the goal is often the same: to make you responsible for his choices. So some signs: it may be primarily manipulation. The threat may be more consistent with coercive control when he makes the threats only when you set a boundary or he's not getting his way. The threat disappears once you comply. He refuses offers of professional help, or he uses the threat repeatedly over months or years. This is something you're frequently hearing, but he's not following through with it. He's not following through with escalating types of violence, either against himself or you, but it's something that he threatens or brings up a lot, right? It's the boy who cried wolf. You hear it over and over and over again, but he never follows through. He quickly shifts back to anger, blame, or intimidation after making the threat, and he has a pattern of dramatic statements without follow through. In these situations, the threat functions as the weapon. Even if the threat is manipulative, it should still be treated seriously by contacting emergency services or crisis professionals rather than trying to manage it yourself. That is also a way to set a boundary. So what are signs that the threat may reflect real or immediate danger? We want to take the threat seriously when it is accompanied by specific statements about how he plans to do it, access to firearms or other lethal means, and especially if he has a firearm or a knife or any other weapon in his hand, right? And he's either pointing it at himself, he's waving it around, he's pointing it to you. He does, in fact, use it in some way. That is very, very serious, okay? Giving away possessions or putting his affairs in order, a recent job loss, criminal charges, or serious custody setbacks. If you've noticed an increase in substance use, whether it's alcohol or other illicit substances, or a real noticeable change in his behavior, like it's just something that's off, very, very different than what you're accustomed to. If he's making statements like, "I have nothing left to lose. Everyone would be better off without me. If I'm going down, I'm taking everyone with me." He's saying his goodbyes. He's making threats to kill himself, to kill you, and to kill the children, or maybe even your pets. If there is a history, we've talked about this in prior webcasts. I'm doing my entire May series on lethality risk. So if you haven't checked out my other webcasts right here at YouTube at Live Free Legal, I would encourage you to, as we talk about some of the top lethality risk and how to predict whether your life is actually at risk in your abusive relationship. So check out the links below to some of my other webcasts and go check those out. We talked about prior strangulation. If he's put his hands around your neck in any way, shape, or form in the past, you are at an increased risk of death by 750%. It's very, very serious. If there's a pattern of stalking, whether it's physical stalking, internet stalking, social media stalking, if he's following you, he's obsessed with you in some way, that also increases the risk. And then recent separation. When we have a combination of these factors, the more factors we have in combination with one another, with the suicidal threats, when we have this combination with domestic violence risk factors, they indicate a heightened danger to everyone in the household. So what should you do either way, right? Because we should always take threats seriously. And we can't predict the propensity for violence with 100% certainty. We should always err on the side of safety for ourselves and for our children. So whether you believe that the threat is manipulative or genuine, do not take sole responsibility for managing the crisis on your own, okay? Call 911 if there is immediate danger, right? You need help, so get help. Encourage the use of 988 suicide and crisis lifeline. Call for them or have them call. Document what was said, right? Tell your attorney, and if you're seeing a therapist, tell your therapist, talk to your therapist about it. Create a safety plan for you and your children. If you don't have one, I have one available for you free. If you go in the description below, you can access that link and get your safety plan and start creating that today. Trust your instincts. If you don't feel safe, you're probably not safe. And even if you're not in imminent physical danger, you're in danger emotionally, right? He is destroying you emotionally and probably destroying your children in the process. Your job is to respond appropriately, not to become his mental health provider. I also encourage you to call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Whether he intends to act on the threat or is using it to control you, the most important truth is the effect is the same, right? You feel trapped, you feel responsible, you feel afraid to leave. And that is exactly why this tactic is so powerful. That's why they use it so often. But his choices are his responsibility. Your responsibility is to protect yourself and to protect your children. If he says he will kill himself, take the threat seriously enough to involve professionals. But do not confuse his threats with your obligation to stay. You are not responsible for another adult's decisions. You are responsible for your own safety. You are responsible for your children's safety, and you are allowed to leave. Whether he means it or not, a threat designed to keep you trapped is still abuse. Download my free lethality assessment and safety planning guide in the description and the link below. And if you are preparing for divorce, custody litigation, or ongoing post-separation abuse, you do not have to figure this out alone. My 12-week legal education intensive, Equipped to Stand, Conquering Your Goliath in Court and Overcoming Post-Separation Abuse, begins in June. Inside this program, you will learn how to organize your evidence, build a compelling case narrative, recognize coercive control tactics, prepare for court and testimony, protect your finances, and respond strategically rather than emotionally. And we're going to strengthen your faith while navigating the legal process. This is legal education only and is designed to help women feel informed, prepared, and empowered. Join the waitlist and learn more at livefreelegal.com. His threats do not define your future. His instability is not your responsibility. His choices are his own. And your safety matters. Your safety matters to me. Your safety matters to other women like you. Your safety matters to your family, your friends, your children. Your safety matters to God. You are stronger than you think. You are wiser than you know. And with God's help, you can stand firm. Please like us, give us a thumbs up, subscribe so that you have access to more information like this. Join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we post a free video on topics just like this. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon.